Good morning.
Thank
Good morning,
you.
Russell. Nice to see you again.
Yes, I gather you two had something of a contretemps last night. We may get to that. Jan, good to speak to you. Look, I mean, we've had these charges brought against Donald Trump. He's pleaded not guilty, and it is 25 minutes. Thank God, only 25 minutes. He's often in Kim Jong-un territory in terms of the length of his speeches, where the former president is making it clear he's a victim of a political targeted attack. It's a witch hunt. He's basically playing the martyr here. Do you think that there is a political element to this attack?
Well, the statute of limitations has expired on this. It's 8 years old, and it's technically a misdemeanor. He's not an accountant, so it was actually his accountant that has already been charged and is in prison for any falsification of items. But this is a political attack, and if people don't see that, then I don't know what else we can say. You know, they've tried for 7 years to destroy him. And actually, it was interesting to me that he mentioned that this was an attack against his campaign, because it was the speaker, Kevin McCarthy, who actually came out with that and decided that he might charge Alvin Bragg with interfering.
Alvin Bragg being the district attorney is a Democrat. You say, I mean, the statute of limitations for misdemeanors is expired, but not for a felony, and they're bringing these as felony charges. Now, all of this is going to be played out in court. I'm amazed that we've got such a long wait for the next court date until December. It seems there's no doubt to me that there is a case to answer, but it also seems very clear to me that there are other former presidents who have a case to answer. This has been played out as a historic event. The first time a sitting or a former president has been charged with any criminal charges. But there is clearly a political element to that, because there are some pretty big question marks about why some other former presidents haven't been charged. And there are clearly some elements about why Donald Trump has been.
Well, exactly. I mean, if you look at the raid on Mar-a-Lago, as the president, he can declassify any documents.
Yeah, but not in his head. He claimed he could literally think this.
Oh, come on.
That was a load of nonsense, Jan.
All right. That was one comment, but the fact is that he declassified a lot of them. So let's not pull a liberal thing of, negating by one thing that he said when there's
That's
some
not
other
a liberal
facts.
thing. He said, I can declassify any document just by thinking it as president, which is a load of codswallop. He said it, not me. I'm not making it up. But look, the argument there is that virtually every other former president and former vice president, as Joe Biden was before his presidency, had also done the same thing. It seems to be the norm that former presidents keep a load of documents they're not supposed to have kept.
Look, I know that you can't stand him, but why is that negating the fact that he actually did declassify documents? And why is that negating the fact that 1,850 boxes that Biden has from his Senate and as VP, which he's not legally allowed to have it, has not been touched? I mean, we're talking about, is it a political hit job, and what is the comparison? And that is really the point that we need to be looking at.
OK, I mean, there is an issue there. And in terms of the criticisms of Donald Trump on the district attorney, Alvin Bragg, who's a known Democrat, of course, New York is a Democrat city. These people are elected, they're political appointees or elected, on that Democrat ticket. The Judge Juan Merchan as well. It's a bit rich, isn't it, for Donald Trump? I mean, it's perfectly fair that him to claim, look, these are Democrats, I'm a Republican, they hate me. I mean, we know that the judge, the DA, the judge's family, his wife and his daughter, they've all been very critical of Donald Trump in public. We know their feelings on him. But it's a bit rich for him to say this is a political witch hunt. And party political, when he's made just as many. He has made party political appointees, as everyone does, to courts from the bottom to the top, including to the Supreme Court. That is your system. He can't complain about it when he's been a part of that system.
Julia, I just love your negative slant always on Trump. We don't get to do anything positive here. But look at this. The fact is that under New York Code 215.70, E-class felony for Alvin Bragg, because he was not to release the indictment. He was not ahead of time before the court. There are these other issues. And if you're not willing to balance this out and looking at some of the actions that have taken place against him, then, you know, we're arguing apples and oranges.